welcome to another episode of Builds by Bailey. Today we're going to do a little bit of maintenance on the motorcycle and fix some stuff that I screwed up when I dropped it in my driveway. So follow along today as we change the oil and take off that cover and fix the clutch line. First things first, we're going to go ahead and we're going to loosen up the drain plug underneath and drain the oil. Now I'm going to let the thing continue to drain while I'm fixing some of the other issues that it's got, so that way all the oil comes out of it. I don't want anything left in. I'm pretty sure that it flooded a little bit whenever I dropped it, so I don't want to run any of that gas-soaked oil through the engine. So I want to get all of that out as best as I possibly can. Okay, now we're going to change the cover that I poked the hole back through where somebody welded it up. So I got a new one of those I got off of eBay. So it's got 3 bolts in it and they look like they're fairly rounded off. So I got to be very careful when I take them off of there. And then I got new hardware, used hardware and a new cover that came in from eBay. So we're going to go ahead and take those off and see what's in behind it. Well, you can clearly see the spot where they welded it on the inside. It's a little bit shinier. There's quite a bit of sludgy stuff inside too, so it really doesn't smell like gasoline. So I'm not too worried about that part of it. So I guess it's just time to do an oil change on it. So we'll go ahead and we'll do routine maintenance. I got a new gasket for this, so we're going to replace that one. And then it should be good to go. Okay, now we're ready to put the new gasket on. I've cleaned everything up. I've got the new cover all cleaned up, the surface on the inside. So we'll go ahead and we'll put the new gasket on. The old one didn't have any kind of sealer on it and it's sealed. So I'm not going to put any kind of sealant on this one either. So literally just going to have to lay it up on there. And push it over a little bit. Get your new cover. Put it up in place, line your holes up, and then like I said, I got new hardware with mine. Make sure your O-rings are on there. These already had the O-rings set in place, so we'll go ahead and we'll thread these up into place. Okay, and there you have it. There's the new cover on the bike. Now I need to take this cover off on this side to get to the clutch cable. So I'm going to have to take the selector off by loosening up a bolt here. And then there's a couple more of those Phillips screws that hold that on. When I take that off, then I'll be able to get to that cable so I can tighten all that stuff up. Okay, well I went ahead and I took the cover off. I ended up having to drill out a couple of holes, so I just went to the hardware store and got some more bolts. I tried to get stainless steel ones, but this metric size is really hard to get stainless in. So the bolts are 2 different lengths. So you've got the larger length or the longer length ones are the ones that go closest to the cover, and the shorter length ones are the ones that go farther out. So while I was in there, I discovered that all of that stuff needed to be re-greased pretty bad. And I also learned how this mechanism works here. I probably didn't have to take any of it apart. I probably could have just got away with loosening this up and resetting it, and it probably would have been fine. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put the bolts back in, and then we're going to start adjusting the cable out. Okay, and I have that cover on. I've got the gear selector back on and the pedal back on, the foot pedal. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the plug back in, and then we're going to fill it up with oil. So it takes 1.5 liters. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a full quart in there, which is almost a full liter. So we'll put that in there, and then we'll put the second one in there about halfway, and then check it from there. Okay, so I got to looking, and it actually takes a little bit more than 1.5 quarts. Actually, on the dipstick itself, it says it takes 2 quarts. So I put 2 quarts in it with it sitting on the kickstand, and it shows up right at the bottom of the line. So whenever I tilt it forward and put it up to ride height, then it shows at full. So it's got 2 full quarts of oil in it, and it's ready to be kick-started and start up again. The only other thing I have to do first, though, is to finish adjusting the clutch lever. Okay, the last thing I got to do is put the clutch line on. If you notice, I had to rearrange the garage real quick and get the BMW in the garage because there is a big storm on its way. See that little dot in the middle? That's where I'm at. And you can see that it's on its way to me. Any second now it's going to be getting here. So the power may go out. If the lights turn off, then we'll just pick up as soon as it kicks back on. Okay, so I've got the clutch lever on there. You pull it all the way in and it goes to where it's supposed to. There is a tiny bit of slack at the very end of it, but according to the climber manual, that's supposed to be there. So everything on the motorcycle is finished for today. So should be ready to start up and to ride. First start since it fell over. And it's about to rain. It's getting dark outside. That'll do it for today's episode of Builds by Bailey. I hope you enjoyed me getting the motorcycle back together and running again. So I'm kind of glad that it's running, so I have something else I can drive in case some of my other vehicles happen to just break down on me. So thanks again, and don't forget to give a big thumbs up and like, subscribe, and share with your friends. It's really coming down out there.